Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every person's life when you must look in the mirror and say, enough is enough. Enough of living small. Enough of shrinking to fit in places you've outgrown. Enough of giving your best energy to people and things that don't build you. You've spent too much of your life pouring into others while your own cup runs empty. You've celebrated everyone else's victories. When it came time to believe in your own dream, you hesitated. You talked yourself out of it. You said, maybe next season. But I came to tell you, your next season is now. Focus is not just about closing your eyes to distractions. It's about opening your heart to your purpose. You can't build the life you deserve if your attention is scattered in 100 directions. Greatness requires focus. Destiny demands discipline. When you decide to invest in yourself, you are not being selfish, you are being strategic. Because when you grow, everything connected to you grows. When you rise, your family rises. When you heal, generations after you inherit peace instead of pain. Stop waiting for permission to become who you were created to be. Stop apologizing for wanting more. Stop explaining your vision to people who were never meant to see it. This is your time to focus on your growth, your faith, your craft, your calling. Don't let fear disguise itself as wisdom. Don't let comfort dress up as peace. The life you deserve is on the other side of consistency and courage. Every hour you waste worrying about who won't support you is an hour you could have spent building your dream. Invest in your mind. Read, learn, stretch, expand, invest in your spirit. Pray, reflect, realign. Invest in your health. Rest, recharge, rebuild. Invest in your future. Plan, save, sow. You can't be everything to everybody and still be true to yourself. You can't chase your purpose while chasing approval. The moment you decide to focus, something will shift, doors will open, energy will return, clarity will come. The life you deserve isn't handed to you. It's built by the decisions you make daily. You build it with focus, with faith, with perseverance. You build it when you stop surviving and start thriving. You build it when you realize that you are worthy of the work. There's a common misunderstanding in life that taking time for yourself, focusing on your growth, and investing in your personal development is somehow selfish. That if you pull back to rest, to rebuild, or to realign, you're neglecting others. But let me tell you this truth. Self-investment is not selfishness, it's stewardship. It's taking responsibility for the gift of life that's been entrusted to you. It's honoring the potential that was placed inside you before you were ever born. You cannot pour out what you do not possess. You cannot give strength if you're always running on empty. You cannot build others if your own foundation is weak. Yet, so many people are living their lives trying to give the world everything while neglecting the very source from which that giving flows: themselves. You were never meant to live exhausted, depleted, and disconnected from your purpose. You were meant to live from a place of overflow, from a place of strength, from a place where your cup is full and your spirit is alive. When you invest in yourself, you're not withdrawing from others. You're refilling the well that makes you valuable to others. You're sharpening your tools so that you can build better. You're feeding your mind, renewing your spirit, and protecting your peace so you can show up in the world with clarity and confidence. The truth is, you can't lead from a place of burnout, and you can't love from a place of emptiness. Every great vision requires a strong vessel. Every calling needs a healthy carrier. You are that vessel. You are that carrier. And the greatest mistake you can make is to let guilt stop you from doing what's necessary to grow. If you don't take care of the gift inside you, it will fade. If you don't nurture the potential within you, it will die under the weight of neglect. Think about a garden. Gardener doesn't apologize for watering the plants. The gardener doesn't feel guilty for pulling weeds or creating space for sunlight. Those things are necessary for growth. The same is true for you. When you set boundaries, when you say no to distractions, when you protect your time, you're not being selfish. You're being wise. You're creating the right conditions for your purpose to flourish. Some people won't understand your need to pull away. They'll call it arrogance. They'll call it distance. what they're really seeing is transformation. They're witnessing you rise into a new level of focus that makes them uncomfortable because it reminds them of the work they haven't done in themselves. Don't let their misunderstanding make you shrink back. Don't apologize for taking time to heal, to learn, or to grow. You owe it to your purpose to be at your best. You owe it to your destiny to stay sharp. Every hour you spend reading, learning, developing your craft is an investment that multiplies over time. Every moment you spend in prayer, meditation, self-reflection is a deposit into your spiritual strength. Every step you take toward becoming the best version of yourself is a seed that will one day bear fruit for generations to come. You are not called to survive, you are called to thrive, and thriving requires maintenance, it requires awareness, it requires commitment. Self-investment is about more than just career success or personal comfort. It's about stewarding your potential so that it fulfills its purpose. You have talents, abilities, and dreams that were given to you for a reason. Neglecting them doesn't make you humble, it makes you wasteful. A stewardship means, and it's managing what you've been given with care and intention. It means using your time wisely, not just working hard, but working purposefully. It means surrounding yourself with people who elevate your thinking and not those who drain your energy. It means feeding your mind with wisdom instead of gossip, your spirit with truth instead of fear, and your vision with action instead of excuses. When you invest in yourself, you send a message to the universe, to your creator, to your own soul, that you value what you've been given. You say, I won't take this life for granted. I will grow what I've been given. I will multiply what's in my hands. And here's the truth. The more you invest in yourself, the more you have to give to others. When your mind is clear, your decisions improve. When your body is strong, your productivity increases. When your spirit is peaceful, your presence becomes powerful. You begin to pour into others not from fatigue, but from fullness. That's the kind of energy that transforms families, teams, and communities. Self-investment changes your atmosphere. It changes the way you see yourself. It builds confidence not from pride, but from preparation. It teaches you that you are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a steward of your potential. You start to move differently. You start to speak differently. You start to walk with purpose because you've invested in understanding who you truly are. You were created to contribute something meaningful to the world. You can't do that if you're distracted, drained, or doubtful. You have to be intentional about what you allow into your mind, who you allow into your circle, and how you spend your energy. Every no to something unimportant is a yes to your destiny. Every boundary you set is a sign of maturity and stewardship. There's a version of you that's waiting on the other side of focus and faithfulness, a version that is wise, grounded, and powerful. You'll never meet that version if you keep abandoning yourself for the sake of pleasing others. It's time to take your power back. It's time to reprioritize your peace. It's time to invest in your healing, your education, your calling, your growth, because you are not just living for today. You are building for tomorrow. The decisions you make now will echo in your future. Every step you take toward bettering yourself creates a ripple effect that touches people you may never meet. Your children, your community, even strangers can benefit from the work you do within yourself. That's the beauty of stewardship. It multiplies the blessing. So don't feel guilty for putting yourself first sometimes. Feel grateful that you're finally recognizing your worth. Don't call it selfish. Call it sacred. You're protecting the gift that was entrusted to you. You're honoring the potential that has been waiting to be unleashed. This is your reminder that you are worth the time, the effort, and the investment. You are not behind. You are not too late. You are exactly where you need to be to start rebuilding, refocusing, and rising higher. In a world full of noise, distractions, endless opportunities pulling us in 100 directions, focus has become one of the rarest and most valuable virtues a person can possess. We live in a generation that celebrates business but often neglects productivity. We chase everything and catch nothing. We start many things but finish few. Yet, deep down, we know that true growth, lasting, meaningful growth, doesn't come from doing everything. It comes from doing the right things with focus. Focus is the fuel that ignites transformation. It's what turns potential into progress and dreams into destiny. Without focus, energy is wasted. Without focus, time is misused. Without focus, even great talent remains untapped. You can have the right vision, the right passion, the right idea, but if your focus is scattered, your growth will be limited. Growth doesn't happen by accident, it happens by attention. Whatever you give your focus to will grow. If you focus on your fears, they'll get bigger. If you focus on your goals, they'll get closer. If you focus on negativity, it'll multiply. But if you focus on development, discipline, and consistency enough, you will evolve into someone you've never been before. Your focus is the difference between staying stuck and moving forward. Too many people are frustrated not because they lack ability, but because they lack direction. They want to grow, but their energy is spread too thin. They're busy watering too many gardens when the one that truly matters is being neglected. You can't be everywhere and expect to grow somewhere. Focus means saying no to everything that doesn't align with your purpose. It means being selective with your time, intentional with your thoughts, disciplined with your attention. When you learn to focus, you start to see progress that once felt impossible. Your goals become clearer. Your priorities align. Your actions start working in the same direction, and suddenly what felt overwhelming becomes achievable. Growth is not magic. It's the result of consistent focus over time. Think of focus as sunlight. When sunlight is spread across a field, it gives warmth. When that same sunlight is concentrated through a magnifying glass, it creates fire. That's the power of focus. It multiplies your strength. When your thoughts, efforts, and habits all aim toward one purpose, something powerful begins to happen. You become unstoppable. But focus doesn't come easily. It requires discipline in a distracted world. Every beep of a phone, every scroll through social media, every unimportant conversation is a small withdrawal from your growth account. The more distracted you are, the less progress you make. Growth requires intentional isolation at times, stepping away from the noise to hear your own thoughts again. You cannot build the life you deserve while constantly reacting to what everyone else is doing. You must learn to shut out the chaos and tune into your calling. Focus is not just about attention, it's about alignment. It's making sure your mind, actions, and values all move in the same direction. If your focus is on things that drain you, you'll stagnate. If your focus is on things that feed you, you'll flourish. Growth doesn't happen when life gets easier. It happens when you get more focused, when you stop chasing quick results and start committing to long-term vision. When you stop comparing yourself to others and start competing with the person you were yesterday. Every season of growth begins with a decision to focus. Focus also reveals what's truly important. When you focus, you learn to distinguish between activity and progress. You begin to see that not every opportunity is meant for you, not every invitation deserves a yes, and not every voice deserves your attention. Focus simplifies your life. It allows you to pour your energy into the things that actually move you forward. The greatest achievers, the most impactful leaders, the most fulfilled souls all share one thing in common. They learned the art of focus. They mastered the ability to guard their attention like treasure. They built routines that protect their time. They prioritized consistency over convenience. They understood that distractions are the enemies of destiny. And here's something powerful. Focus is not found, it's built. You build focus through daily decisions. You train your mind to stay on task when it wants to wander. You strengthen your discipline like a muscle until it becomes natural. Every time you resist distraction, you grow stronger. Every time you stay committed when it's easier to quit, you grow deeper. Every time you choose progress over comfort, your focus gets sharper. Focus teaches patience. It reminds you that growth is not overnight. It's over time. You don't plant a seed today and expect a forest tomorrow. You water it, nurture it, protect it, and trust the process. The same is true with your dreams. You must be willing to focus through the dry seasons, through the silence, through the waiting, because every moment of focus builds your foundation. Don't let your past failures break your focus. Don't let other people's opinions blur your vision. What you focus on determines what you experience. Your eyes are fixed on your potential. Instead of your pain, you'll rise. If your mind is focused on your purpose instead of your problems, you'll grow stronger. Focus is a choice. Every single day, you choose what gets your energy, what gets your time, and what gets your attention. Growth is simply the harvest of those choices. Every bit of focus you give to your dream compounds over time. One day, the results will speak for themselves. There will be moments when focus feels lonely. While everyone else is partying, you're planning. While others are relaxing, you're refining. But remember, growth has a cost, and the price is focus. You can't reach new heights by doing what everyone else is doing. The crowd may not understand your silence enough, your discipline, your routine, but that's because they're not called to your purpose. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. The quality of your life will always mirror the quality of your focus. A focused mind creates a stable life. A scattered mind creates chaos. You learn to harness your focus. You take back your power. You begin to control your outcomes instead of being controlled by circumstances. Focus fuels growth because it creates momentum. Small, consistent focus builds habits. Habits shape character. Character creates results. When you give focused effort every day, even small steps lead to massive transformation over time. So ask yourself today, what has my focus? Is it helping me grow or keeping me stagnant? Is it feeding my purpose or my distractions? Wherever your focus is going, that's where your future is flowing. Refuse to be pulled in every direction. Refuse to give your energy to things that don't serve your destiny. Focus on your goals. Focus on your healing. Focus on your discipline. Focus on becoming everything you were designed to be. Because when your focus is clear, your path becomes powerful. When your mind is set, your growth becomes unstoppable. When your energy aligns with your purpose, life begins to move in your favor. There's a truth that many of us learn the hard way. You can't pour from an empty cup. You cannot keep giving when you have nothing left inside. You cannot keep showing up for others if you keep abandoning yourself. Life will keep pulling on you. People will keep needing you. Responsibilities will keep calling you. But if your spirit is empty, your strength will run dry. You were never meant to live drained, depleted, disconnected from your own well-being. You were created to pour from a place of fullness, not exhaustion. Too often we mistake self-neglect for selflessness. We think being tired all the time means we're being responsible. We think burning ourselves out means we're doing what's right. We convince ourselves that rest is laziness and self-care is selfishness. But that is a lie. You cannot be effective if you're exhausted. You cannot be wise if your mind is clouded. You cannot be kind if your heart is bitter from fatigue. You can't pour from an empty cup, because when you're empty, even your best intentions become heavy burdens. The kindness you try to give feels forced. The love you try to share feels strained. The energy you try to offer feels fake. You can't give peace to others when chaos lives inside you. You can't inspire others when you've lost your own fire. You can't lead others when you've lost your direction. That's why it's so important to refill, to take time for yourself without guilt or apology. Rest is not weakness, it's wisdom. Recharging is not quitting, it's preparation. Every person who gives much must also receive much. Receive rest, receive nourishment, receive inspiration. You can't live on empty and expect to thrive. You can't keep running without refueling. There's a reason why even nature understands rhythm. Ocean has tides. The earth has seasons. The sun rises and sets. Everything that's alive knows when to move and when to rest. Yet we, in our pride, think we can go nonstop, never pausing, never breathing, never reflecting. Then we wonder why our peace is gone, our passion is dull, and our joy feels distant. You can't keep pouring without pausing to be poured into. Your cup is your inner world, your mental, emotional, and spiritual health. When it's full, you overflow with energy, clarity, and love. But when it's empty, even small problems feel unbearable. That's why maintaining your peace, your joy, and your strength is not optional. It's essential. There comes a time in every life when you must say, I need to take care of me, not because you've stopped caring about others, but because you finally realize that you're part of the equation too. You matter. Your health matters. Your energy matters. Your peace matters. You can't keep saving everyone while losing yourself. You can't keep rescuing others while drowning silently. You can't keep giving away pieces of yourself until there's nothing left to give. You have to learn the art of refilling your cup, and that requires boundaries. Boundaries protect your energy from being drained by people, problems, and patterns that don't serve your growth. Every time you say no to something unhealthy, you're saying yes to your wholeness. Every time you choose rest over rushing, peace over people pleasing, and healing over hustling, you're refilling your cup. Your cup doesn't refill itself. You have to be intentional. You have to make time for reflection, prayer, rest, and silence. You have to surround yourself with people who pour into you, not those who drain you. You have to seek places and practices that refresh your spirit. Whether that's a walk in nature, time with God, journaling your thoughts, or simply being still. When your cup is full, you become magnetic. You give from abundance, not obligation. You speak with calm, complaint. You love freely, not fearfully. You handle challenges with grace instead of panic. Full cup doesn't just bless you. It blesses everyone connected to you. Your overflow becomes their nourishment. Your peace becomes their encouragement. But if you keep giving and never receiving, eventually your giving turns toxic. You begin to resent the people you're trying to help. You begin to feel unappreciated, unseen, and undervalued. Not because others have changed, but because you've been pouring from an empty place for too long. That's not generosity. That's depletion. You were never meant to live drained. You were meant to live renewed. Even the strongest people need to rest. Even the most spiritual people need to be refilled. Even the most loving hearts need time to heal. There is no virtue in self-destruction. There is no reward for running yourself into the ground. Remember, the cup is your responsibility. No one else can fill it for you. People can encourage you, inspire you, and support you, but they can't refill your spirit. That's your job. You have to take ownership of your well-being. You have to protect your energy like it's sacred, because it is. You can rebuild money, you can rebuild status, you can rebuild relationships, but you cannot rebuild time or health once it's gone. So take care of your cup. Pay attention to the signs of emptiness, the irritability, the fatigue, the disinterest, the loss of passion. Those aren't random feelings. They're warnings, they're reminders that you've been given too much without receiving enough. Don't ignore them. Listen to them. Fill your cup with what nourishes your soul. Fill it with gratitude instead of complaints. Fill it with faith instead of fear. Fill it with rest instead of restlessness. Fill it with purpose instead of pressure. The fuller your cup becomes, the more powerful your impact. Some will call you selfish for stepping back. Let them talk. They don't understand that protecting your peace is the only way to preserve your power. You can't keep being everything for everyone if you're nothing for yourself. You can't show up at your best if you keep running on empty. You need to refill your cup not just for you, but for the people who depend on you. When you're whole, you parent better, you lead better, you love better. When you're healthy, your presence becomes healing. Your words carry life. Your actions carry clarity. Your energy becomes contagious in the best way. Don't let this world convince you that exhaustion is a badge of honor. Don't glorify burnout. Don't mistake being busy for being productive. True strength is found in balance. True wisdom is found in rest. True leadership is found in knowing when to pull back and recharge. So today, give yourself permission to refill. Step away if you must. Rest without guilt. Rebuild without apology. Reconnect with what matters. Because you can't give what you don't have. You can't pour love from emptiness. You can't speak life from weariness. You can't lift others when you're on the verge of collapse. Everybody dreams of a better life, a life of peace, purpose, success, and freedom. We imagine it, we talk about it, we post about it. But few are willing to do what it takes to build it. Because the truth is, the life you deserve begins with discipline, not luck, not talent, not mere desire, discipline. The ability to do what must be done, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. It's the quiet force behind every breakthrough, every achievement, and every transformation. It's not glamorous and it's not easy, but it is powerful. Discipline doesn't shout. It doesn't seek attention. It shows up every day, consistently, faithfully, silently building the life you've been praying for. You can want success. You can pray for growth. You can declare destiny, but without discipline, none of it lasts. Because discipline is the foundation that holds everything together when motivation fades. Motivation may start the journey. Discipline keeps you moving when the excitement disappears. So many people delay their destiny because they're waiting to feel ready. They're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect emotion, perfect alignment of circumstances. But discipline doesn't wait. Discipline says, I may not feel like it, I'm doing it anyway. Discipline doesn't negotiate with comfort. It doesn't consult your feelings. It consults your purpose. Every successful person you admire, every leader, every artist, every visionary has one thing in common: discipline. They chose consistency over convenience. They showed up when others gave up. They learned that greatness isn't born from what you do occasionally. It's born from what you do daily. The life you deserve won't come from wishing. It will come from working. And not just working hard, working consistently, because consistency creates character, and character sustains success. You can't pray for a blessed life while living an undisciplined one. You can't expect abundance if you're careless with what you already have. You can't build something great while living without structure, focus, or commitment. Discipline is what separates intention from execution. It's the difference between I want to and I will. You can have all the talent in the world, but without discipline, your potential will stay locked inside you. Discipline is the key that unlocks it. It's what turns ability into achievement, potential into purpose, dreams into destiny. But discipline requires sacrifice. It means saying no to distractions, no to excuses, and no to comfort zones. It means doing the hard things when no one is watching. It means waking up early when your bed feels warm and your mind says sleep. It means putting in effort when others are relaxing. It means staying consistent when others quit. And yes, it's uncomfortable. Growth always is. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you grow stronger. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build confidence. Every time you do the right thing, even when it's hard, you build integrity. Discipline is not punishment. It's preparation. It's shaping you for the life you've been asking for. You can't ask for a stable life if your habits are unstable. You can't ask for more opportunities if you keep wasting the ones you already have. You can't ask for excellence if you keep settling for average. The life you deserve is waiting, but it's waiting on your discipline. Discipline also protects your purpose. It keeps you from getting distracted by things that don't matter. It teaches you to say no to temporary pleasure for the sake of long-term fulfillment. It reminds you that not everything urgent is important. When you're disciplined, you stop chasing everything and start building something. You learn to guard your focus, your energy, and your time, because you understand that growth takes consistency, not chaos. There's a version of you that exists on the other side of discipline, stronger, wiser, more peaceful, more confident. You'll never meet that version if you keep living according to your moods. Discipline is doing what's necessary when your emotions disagree. It's showing up when you'd rather give up. It's staying committed even when results are slow. Most people quit not because they lack potential, because they lack patience. Discipline teaches you patience. It reminds you that progress is a process. You don't plant a seed today and expect fruit tomorrow. You nurture it. You water it. You wait. That's discipline, doing what's required in faith that results will come in time. Discipline builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. When you keep promises to yourself, something shifts inside. You stop doubting. You stop second guessing. You start believing that you can rely on yourself, and that self-trust becomes power. Because when you trust yourself, you no longer need external validation to move forward. But the truth is, discipline doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you become. It strengthens your character, it deepens your perspective, it builds endurance, It molds you into a person capable of handling the blessings you've been praying for. Because the life you deserve isn't just about having more, it's about becoming more. If success came easy, it would destroy you. Discipline is what prepares you to sustain it. It trains your mind, your habits, and your heart to handle responsibility with wisdom. That's why the process is hard, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Every act of discipline is a seed for future reward. Every sacrifice today builds strength for tomorrow. You may not see the results immediately, but keep going. The person who stays consistent will always outperform the person who is occasionally motivated. One small step done daily is worth more than 100 big plans never started. There will be days when you feel like quitting, days when you wonder if the effort is worth it. But in those moments, remember the pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts forever. Choose the pain that builds you, not the one that breaks you. You can't keep living undisciplined and expect divine results. You can't keep wasting time and expect destiny to unfold. The life you deserve is not waiting for a miracle. It's waiting for your commitment. The key is already in your hands. It's called discipline. And one day you'll look back and realize discipline wasn't your prison, it was your freedom. It didn't take your joy, it gave you structure. It didn't hold you back, it built your wings. So stop waiting for the perfect time. Stop wishing life would get easier. Instead, get stronger through discipline. Because the moment you decide to live with discipline, you start building the life you truly deserve. There are two forces that quietly destroy more dreams than failure ever could: fear and comfort. They don't make noise. They don't announce their arrival. They simply slip into your life, gently convincing you to stay where you are. Fear tells you that stepping out is too risky. Comfort whispers that where you are is good enough. And between those two voices, dreams die, not in a storm, in silence. Fear and comfort are silent dream killers because they disguise themselves as safety. They make you believe you're protecting yourself when, in truth, you're imprisoning yourself. They make you think you're being wise when, in fact, you're being hesitant. They make you think you're waiting for the right time, but that right time never comes. And while you wait, life moves on without you. Fear paralyzes, builds invisible walls around your potential. It says, what if you fail? What if they laugh? What if you're not good enough? And comfort agrees, saying, why bother? You're doing fine. Don't risk it. Stay where it's safe. Those two voices may sound different. They have the same goal: to keep you from growing. The truth is, no dream can survive in the soil of fear and comfort. Growth requires stretching. Progress requires pain. You cannot reach your destiny by staying where it feels easy. Every dream worth living for will demand that you leave what's familiar. You can't fly if you refuse to leave the ground. Fear tells you that failure is fatal, but failure is just feedback. Every step you take, even the wrong ones, teaches you something that success never could. Comfort tells you to rest before you've earned it. It lulls you into a false peace that slowly numbs your potential. And while you're sitting in your comfort zone, life's opportunities pass you by. Some of the greatest regrets in life don't come from what people did, they come from what they didn't do. The chances they didn't take, the risks they avoided, the dreams they buried under excuses. Years later, they look back and realize they were never waiting on the perfect moment. The moment was waiting on them. Fear and comfort will never announce themselves as enemies. They'll come disguised as logic, caution, and contentment. They'll say things like, maybe next year, I'm not ready yet, or it's not the right season. And while you're busy rationalizing, your passion grows cold, your momentum fades, your destiny drifts further away. Don't let fear trick you into believing that comfort is peace. Peace comes from alignment, knowing you're living out your purpose. Comfort comes from avoidance, choosing to stay small to avoid pain. One fulfills you, the other drains you. One makes you stronger, the other makes you stagnant. If you want to live the life you were born for, you must confront your fear. You must make peace with discomfort. You must understand that courage is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward despite it. Fear will always be there. The question is whether you'll let it drive you or discipline it. Every great story begins with a moment of discomfort. Every breakthrough begins with a step into the unknown. You can't be bold and safe at the same time. You can't live in comfort and expect to walk in calling. Comfort will keep you in rooms you've outgrown because leaving feels uncertain. It will convince you that you're not ready, even when everything inside you is screaming, it's time. The truth is, your dreams will always require more of you than you're comfortable giving. They'll demand your courage, your sacrifice, your persistence. They'll test your patience and your faith. But that's how you grow. That's how you evolve into the version of yourself capable of handling the destiny that's waiting for you. You can't let fear write your story. If you do, your story will always end too soon. You can't let comfort dictate your choices. If you do, you'll live a life that looks good but feels empty. You'll have safety but not satisfaction. You'll have peace but not purpose. Fear says, what if it doesn't work? Faith says, what if it does? Comfort says, stay here where it's predictable. Purpose says, go there where it's possible. Every dreamer faces fear. Every achiever battles comfort. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't that one had no fear. It's that one refused to bow to it. They acted anyway. They pushed past the trembling, the doubt, the uncertainty. They faced rejection, failure, and pain, but they kept moving. Comfort will give you short-term satisfaction and long-term regret. Growth will give you short-term struggle and long-term fulfillment. Choose your pain wisely because both paths come with it. One pain builds you, the other blinds you. You can't be comfortable and courageous at the same time. One will always cancel the other. If you want to live a life of purpose, you must make peace with discomfort. You must learn to lean into what scares you, because fear often points directly to your destiny. The truth is, everything you desire is waiting beyond your comfort zone. The opportunities, the connections, the breakthroughs, the confidence, they're all waiting on the other side of fear. But you'll never find them if you keep hiding behind excuses. It's time to stop letting fear make decisions for you. It's time to stop treating comfort like a friend. It's time to choose courage again and again until it becomes your lifestyle, because the more you step out, the smaller fear becomes. The more you challenge comfort, the stronger you grow. Fear and comfort will whisper that you're not capable, but they're lying. Enough. You've already survived things that once terrified you. You've already grown through seasons that once stretched you. The same strength that carried you then still lives inside you now. You just have to trust it. Stop settling for good enough when greatness is calling your name. Stop letting fear keep you on the sidelines of your own life. Stop letting comfort talk you out of your calling. You are not meant to live a half-lived life. You were created to expand, to evolve, to rise. You can't do that from the safety of what's familiar. So step out, take the risk, speak the idea, start the business, write the book, apply for the job. The toxic pattern, move toward the dream. Do it afraid if you have to, but do it. Because nothing changes until you move. One day, you'll look back and realize that the walls of fear and comfort weren't real. They were just illusions built by doubt. And you'll wish you had walked through them sooner. Don't let that be your story. The life you want, the purpose you're chasing, the future you've been praying for. It's not waiting for the perfect moment. It's waiting for your courage. Step forward. Even trembling, even unsure, even scared, because every step forward is one step away from the life you're settling for and one step closer to the life you were born to live. There is a simple yet profound truth that changes everything when you truly grasp it. Every investment you make in yourself multiplies your impact. Too often, people chase external success while neglecting internal growth. They want the world to notice them, applaud them, and reward them. Yet they haven't taken the time to prepare for what they're praying for. They want to lead, but they haven't developed the character to carry leadership. They want abundance, but they haven't cultivated the discipline to manage abundance. The truth is, what's on you can only grow to the level of what's in you. When you invest in yourself, you are expanding your capacity to lead, to love, to endure, to influence. You can't pour wisdom, strength, or inspiration into others if your own well is dry. You can't lead with excellence if you don't feed your own excellence. The level at which you develop yourself determines the level at which you can impact the world around you. Every seed multiplies after its kind. Single seed has the potential to produce a tree, and that tree produces fruit with more seeds. That's the power of investment. When you sow into yourself through learning, discipline, reflection, and growth, you don't just change your own life. You create fruit that feeds others. You become a source of inspiration, wisdom, and strength to everyone connected to you. You cannot expect multiplication in life while living with a scarcity mindset toward yourself. The hours you spend reading, praying, studying, exercising, reflecting, they are not wasted. They are compound interest. The world may not see it immediately, but one day, the depth of your preparation will speak for itself. Every book you read, every skill you master, every moment of solitude where you sharpen your vision, it's all building equity in your destiny. You are your greatest asset. Your mindset, your habits, your faith, your discipline. These are the engines that drive every opportunity you will ever receive. People spend their lives investing in things that depreciate: clothes, cars, opinions, validation. But when you invest in yourself, that investment appreciates, it grows, it compounds, it builds momentum. Your value to the world increases in proportion to how much you've developed yourself. That's why two people can face the same opportunity and produce completely different outcomes. One is prepared, the other is not. The difference isn't the opportunity. The difference is the investment behind it. When you take time to grow your mind, to strengthen your spirit, to build your emotional maturity, to refine your talents, you are silently multiplying your influence. You are preparing for doors that haven't opened yet. You are building the strength to carry blessings that would crush the unprepared. Every leader who has ever made a lasting impact didn't do so by chance. They invested relentlessly in themselves. They studied when others were distracted. They practiced when others were playing. They stayed consistent when others gave up. And because of that unseen investment, their impact became undeniable. If you want to multiply your impact, you must become a student of life. Learn from your failures, grow from your pain, study your own patterns, elevate your thinking. Because your influence will never rise higher than your mindset. You can't change the world if you're not willing to first change yourself. What are you depositing into your own growth daily? Are you feeding your faith or your fears? Are you nurturing your potential or numbing your purpose? Every choice you make is a seed, and it will yield a harvest. The world is constantly shifting, evolving, demanding more adaptability, more wisdom, more authenticity. The ones who keep growing, learning, and improving. Those are the ones who thrive. The ones who stop investing in themselves eventually plateau. Their passion fades, their creativity shrinks, their impact diminishes. You can't expect to remain relevant with yesterday's mindset in today's world. Investing in yourself is not about ego, it's about excellence. It's not about being better than others, it's about being better than who you were yesterday. Because when you grow, everyone connected to you benefits. Your family sees a stronger version of you. Your friends witness consistency. Your colleagues feel inspired by your drive. You begin to shift environments simply by showing up differently. You were never meant to stay the same. Stagnation is the death of potential. Growth is your responsibility. The moment you stop learning, you stop leading. The moment you stop stretching, you start shrinking. And the moment you stop investing in yourself, you stop multiplying your impact. Some people pray for a bigger platform when what they need is a deeper foundation. You can't sustain big things with a small mindset. You can't handle overflow if you haven't built capacity. God doesn't give you what you ask for. He gives you what you're ready for. And readiness comes through investment, through preparation, through growth, through maturity. That's why the quiet seasons matter. The unseen work matters. The late nights reading, the early mornings reflecting, the decisions to say no to distractions, they all matter. Every time you discipline yourself to do what's hard, you're expanding your future reach. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you're multiplying your future influence. Don't despise the process of development. Don't rush through the seasons of learning. Those moments are sacred. They're building your strength. They're shaping your wisdom. They're preparing you to handle more, lead more, give more. You may not see results yet. Every step of preparation is compounding beneath the surface. The truth is, you can't give what you don't have. You can't pour out wisdom if you haven't gathered it. You can't empower others if you haven't empowered yourself. That's why self-investment is not optional. It's essential. It's the fuel that keeps your purpose burning. There's a reason some people leave a legacy while others leave only memories, one invested in growth, the other in comfort. One spent their time expanding, the other spent it existing. But if you choose to invest in yourself, to commit to constant growth, to sharpen your skills and strengthen your spirit, your life will ripple beyond you. Your impact will multiply through generations. Every investment you make in yourself creates fruit in someone else's life. When you heal, you teach others healing is possible. When you grow, you give others permission to grow. When you overcome, you show others that breakthrough is real. Your investment doesn't just bless you, it blesses everyone you touch. So never feel guilty for investing in your mind, your body, your spirit, your dreams. Never feel guilty for stepping back to recharge, to learn, to evolve. Because you're not just preparing for yourself, you're preparing to serve. You're multiplying your reach, your voice, your influence. Every class you take, every skill you refine, every habit you strengthen, it's all adding up. It's building something that will last long after applause fades. It's creating a foundation strong enough to carry vision, purpose, and destiny. So invest in yourself boldly. Build your character like your future depends on it, because it does. The more you grow, the more you give. The more you pour into your own development, the greater your overflow becomes. Because every investment in yourself multiplies your impact. It doesn't just change your life, it changes lives around you. And one day you'll look back and realize that everything you built, every life you touched, every mountain you climbed, it all began with one decision to invest in you. There comes a moment in life when you must understand that not everyone will see what you see. Not everyone will understand what burns inside of you. And that's okay, because your dream was given to you, not to them. Your vision wasn't placed in their heart, it was placed in yours. The greatest mistake you can make is wasting your time trying to convince small minds to understand a big vision. Every time you explain your dream to someone who cannot see it, you risk shrinking it. You risk diluting it to fit their understanding. You risk letting their limitations become your boundaries. Some people can only see as far as their own experience allows them. They measure possibility by what they have seen, what they have achieved, what they believe can be done. Your calling will always exceed what they can comprehend. Stop expecting everyone to clap for what they don't understand. Some people aren't against you. They're just limited by their own perspective. They can't imagine what they've never experienced. They don't hate your dream. They just can't carry it. They don't see the vision because they were never supposed to. You see, big dreams require big faith, and big faith cannot survive in small environments. You can't build an empire in a room full of people who think small. You can't talk about purpose around people who only talk about problems. You can't expect momentum from those who are comfortable with mediocrity. There are people who will hear your dream and instantly try to talk you out of it. They'll tell you, be realistic, as if reality is more powerful than faith. They'll remind you of your failures, your flaws, your past. They'll ask, who do you think you are? And if you're not careful, you'll start to believe them. But the truth is, their opinion has nothing to do with your destiny. Their doubt cannot cancel your calling. Stop explaining your dream to small minds, because you don't need their approval to walk in purpose. You don't need their understanding to move forward. You don't need their validation to believe in what God has already placed inside of you. Sometimes silence is the best protection for your vision. Not everyone deserves access to your process. People who think small will always find a reason why something won't work. They see obstacles where visionaries see opportunities. They see endings where dreamers see beginnings. They speak limitation while you speak creation. And if you spend too much time around them, their words will plant seeds of doubt in your spirit. You'll start questioning what you once knew for sure. You'll start second-guessing what you were certain about. Guard your dream. Protect your vision. Don't let small thinkers reduce something divine to their level of understanding. If you keep explaining yourself to people who aren't assigned to your journey, you'll exhaust yourself trying to make them believe what was never meant for them. Some dreams are too fragile for early exposure. They need to grow in silence. A seed buried in the soil, your vision needs protection while it takes root. Don't pull it out of the ground just to show others it's growing. Some people will step on it before it ever has a chance to bloom. You must understand that your dream doesn't require mass approval. It requires personal conviction. It requires you to keep believing when nobody else does. It requires you to hold the vision in your heart when your surroundings look like the opposite. You don't owe explanations to anyone who cannot see beyond the now. Many people lose their focus not because they lack potential, because they share their plans with people who lack perspective. They keep trying to get small minds to see the bigger picture, but it's impossible. You can't expect a caterpillar to understand the life of a butterfly. You can't expect a person who fears risk to understand the language of destiny. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in history began in isolation. Greatness often grows in hidden places. People may doubt you, laugh at you, or dismiss you. That's part of the process. Don't get distracted by their disbelief. Your job is not to convince them. Your job is to become what they said you couldn't be. Let your results do the talking. When you stop explaining your dream to small minds, you free yourself to move faster. You stop wasting energy trying to be understood and start using that energy to build. You stop justifying your vision and start manifesting it. Silence becomes your strategy and progress becomes your proof. Some people can't celebrate you because your dream exposes their excuses. Your growth reminds them of their stagnation. Your courage highlights their comfort. They would rather question your calling than confront their own complacency. That's why you must stay focused. Don't lower your standards to match their limitations. Don't let their doubt infect your belief. If your dream doesn't intimidate small minds, it's not big enough. The very fact that some people don't get it means you're on the right track. The dream inside you should stretch you. And it should stretch your circle. If your circle doesn't challenge you to grow, it's too small for your destiny. Sometimes elevation requires separation. That doesn't mean you hate people. It means you've learned to prioritize your purpose. It means you're willing to walk alone rather than stay surrounded by those who make you shrink. You cannot fulfill a divine vision while seeking constant human validation. When you stop explaining your dream to small minds, you start hearing from bigger voices, voices of faith, mentors, builders, believers. People who don't ask, why you? But why not you? People who speak life instead of limitation. Those are the voices that belong in your circle. Don't apologize for having a vision that's too big for others to understand. Don't apologize for dreaming beyond what's familiar. The greatest innovators, leaders, and creators were all misunderstood before they were celebrated. People called them crazy until their results made sense. Let them call you crazy. Let them doubt. Let them talk. Because while they talk, you'll be building. Your dream doesn't need defending, it needs developing. Your time is better spent in preparation than persuasion. Because one day, the same people who questioned you will quote you. The same ones who doubted you will study how you did it. But none of that happens if you waste your energy explaining instead of executing. So, stop explaining your dream to small minds. Some things are meant to be shown, not told. Let your success make the announcement. Let your transformation be the testimony. Keep your focus sacred and your vision private until it's strong enough to speak for itself. The right people will recognize it. The right people will support it. The right people will be drawn to your energy without you having to explain it. You don't have to convince the world of your worth. You just have to keep walking in it. Silence is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's the realization that your dream is too valuable to be debated with those who can't see beyond their limits. So today, choose peace over validation. Choose focus over explanation. Choose growth over gossip, because your dream is not up for discussion. It's up for manifestation. Let them talk while you build. Let them doubt while you work. Let them misunderstand while you rise. Because when it's all said and done, your results will speak louder than your explanations ever could. And when that moment comes, you'll realize that every time you kept silent, every time you walked away from small conversations, every time you protected your dream, you weren't losing connection. You were gaining clarity. There's a moment in every person's life when the universe leans in and whispers, "It's your time." Not tomorrow, not someday. When you feel ready, but now. The question is, will you believe it? Most people spend their lives waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting until the fear fades or the circumstances align. But life doesn't wait. Destiny doesn't wait. Time doesn't pause until you feel prepared. Every dream, every purpose, every calling has an appointed moment, and that moment is now. The truth is, challenge you to love enough, you've already waited long enough. You've talked about it, prayed about it, thought about it, but at some point, you must be about it. You've got to stop waiting for a sign and start becoming one. Stop standing on the sidelines of your own life, hoping for someone to notice your potential. The world doesn't reward potential. It rewards action. Your time is now because everything you've been through has been preparing you for this season. Pain, the failures, the lessons, the late nights, the lonely moments, none of it was wasted. Every experience was shaping you, strengthening you, refining you. You may not have seen it while you were going through it, but now you can look back and realize every closed door was redirecting you, not rejecting you. Every delay was divine development. Too many people think they need more resources, more confidence, more clarity before they begin. You don't need more. You need to use what you already have. You've got enough to start. You've got enough to grow. You've got enough to make progress. Because progress doesn't come from perfection. It comes from movement. It's time to stop talking yourself out of what you were born to do. Stop believing the lie that you're not qualified. Stop letting your past convince you that you don't deserve a future. You've carried other people's dreams, supported other people's visions. Now it's time to build your own. This is not arrogance, it's alignment. It's not selfishness, it's stewardship of what's inside you. The waiting season is over. The preparation season has done its work. You've learned the lessons. You've gained the wisdom. You've fought the battles. Now it's time to rise. There's nothing left to prove. Only something to pursue. Your time is now because the world needs what you carry. There are people waiting for your obedience, waiting for your gift, waiting for your words, your ideas, your vision. You were not born by accident. You were not placed here to simply exist. You were sent to impact. Impact that doesn't happen, one day. It begins the moment you decide to move. Don't let fear convince you that now isn't the right time. Fear always disguises itself as logic. It will tell you to wait for a safer season, a clearer sign, a stronger confirmation. Faith doesn't wait for certainty. Faith moves in spite of uncertainty. You'll never know how strong you are until you step into what's next. There will never be a perfect time. Conditions will never all align. The clock will never pause. You either start now or risk spending your life wishing you had. Life rewards the bold, the consistent, the ones who dare to take the first step when everything says, wait. Your time is now because the opportunities you think are in the future are already within reach. They're waiting for your activation. The universe doesn't respond to intentions. It responds to action. You can dream all day, but until you move, the dream remains an idea. Every great story began when someone decided to stop waiting and start walking. They didn't have it all figured out. They didn't know how it would work. But they knew that staying still was no longer an option. That's the power of now. It's the moment when comfort loses its grip and courage takes control. Maybe you've been disqualified by others, underestimated by people who couldn't see your potential. Maybe you've failed more times than you can count. But guess what? Every person who ever achieved something meaningful had to fight through the same doubt, the same fear, the same rejection. The difference is they didn't quit. They understood that delay is not denial. You can't keep living in the shadow of someday. Someday isn't on the calendar. Someday never comes. The only time that truly belongs to you is now. The past is gone. The future is not promised, but now is sacred. Now is your chance to change everything. You've spent enough time surviving. It's time to start thriving. Enough time wondering. It's time to start walking. Enough time doubting. It's time to start believing. You've already been equipped with everything you need to succeed. The seed of greatness is already in you. It's just waiting for you to act. When you move, momentum builds. When you take the first step, the next one becomes clearer. But as long as you stand still, your doubts grow louder, fear feeds on stagnation, courage grows through action. You might fall along the way, that's fine. Falling is part of movement. Failure is part of success. Every mistake teaches you something that success cannot. What matters is not that you fall, but that you rise. Every time you rise, you grow stronger, wiser, more focused. Your time is now because you've already spent years preparing without even realizing it. The struggles you faced, the doors that closed, dreams that seemed delayed, all of it was refining you for this very moment. The process was not punishment, it was preparation. Now, the preparation must meet purpose. Don't wait for external validation. Don't wait for applause. Don't wait for people to agree with you. Some won't understand until it's too late, and that's okay. You don't owe explanations to anyone. You owe obedience to your calling. Your time is now, because the longer you wait, the louder your excuses become. The longer you hesitate, the heavier your doubts grow. Every day you delay is a day destiny waits. You don't have forever. You have this moment. Make it count. Close the door on procrastination. Silence the noise of comparison. You don't need to be them. You need to be you. The world doesn't need another imitation. It needs your originality. The authentic version of you is the most powerful thing you can offer. So take the risk. Send the message. Write the book. Launch the idea. Start the business. Apply for the job. Take the leap of faith. Even if you're scared, even if you're unsure, even if you don't see the whole staircase, take the first step. Destiny doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It moves when you do. Your time is now, not when you're ready, because readiness is a myth. When it feels easy, because growth is never easy. Not when everyone believes in you, because some never will. Your time is now because purpose is calling and you cannot afford to hit snooze again. The life you desire won't come from waiting. It will come from working. Believing and moving. Stop replaying what was and start creating what will be. The window is open. The opportunity is here. The moment is yours.